Hello Reggie, this is Jacqui speaking to you from the Company of Angels London office, and I'm sending a warm greeting to you and everybody else working with Fit for a Change from everybody else at Company of Angels. We've been really enjoying watching your video postcards. In fact, everybody's video postcards have been really lovely to watch and has given us a wonderful opportunity to have a window into your lives and experiences. So I would like to do the same for you. I have been working as a director for a few years. I trained at drama school for 4 years on a director's course and have started working with Company of Angels earlier this year in the springtime. They had a project called Young Angels where they united 2 writers, 2 directors and 2 designers together to create 3 pieces of work for a young audience. The play that I worked on was written specifically for a 10-year-old audience about the experiences of 10-year-olds. Myself and the writer felt that children, even at the age of 10, were experiencing lots and lots and lots of pressures, exams, the need to conform and be part of the crowd, to look a certain way, to say the right things, and that even at the young age of 10 could still really be in contact with the idea of being a failure. And so we had this play that was set over one morning in the exam room, and what was really exciting about this piece for me was that it involved a lot of dance and singing and choral moments, and so the rehearsal process was really, really exciting, and I think it was one of my happiest experiences as a director and my most fulfilling. I had a wonderful company, just 4 actors who were playing the parts of 10-year-olds, and which they did wonderfully, and the room was always alive with this wonderful sense of play that sometimes when you're working with an adult company can be amiss in a rehearsal room, but the actors really connected with that sense of wonderful play and openness that young people have. The play was a fantastic success, and actually I think we're going to do it next spring as well. It's going to be one of Company of Angels projects, which excites me beyond belief. So we also have a video as well of it, so hopefully you'll see some excerpts from the play within this video. I'm going to answer some of your questions that you sent to John. And your first question was, how does he plan for rehearsals? I guess like any director, preparation, 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 preparation is all. I think also because John writes as well as directs, by the time you get to rehearsals you really know what you want, you know your characters, you have all the answers, but I think what you also need to remain in contact with is that even though you'll think this is the journey to get where I'm going, you should be prepared to take this journey too, and that you should always be flexible and open to what your actors and company are giving you. Often when I've directed, I've been obsessed with having all the answers and knowing exactly what I want to do and saying this is what I want to see, and then sometimes when you get what you wanted, it doesn't look or sound anything like you expected it to. It could be better, it could be worse, but so everything can change when you get a bunch of human beings in your rehearsal room. And so it's just to be open and listen to everything they have got to offer. I think obviously you need to have, you know, your focus, you need to have your core beliefs in what this play means to you, what you think it's about, but also you've got to take on board what it means to your actors, what their experiences of it is as well, and that will, you know, filter into the whole thing and just add to what you thought you were bringing. Your other question was about Company of Angels successes. John wrote a play in 2001 called Hannah and Hannah, and it was continued being performed up until about 2004, has been performed all across Europe and has even reached as far as India, so I would say that that's been one of the successes. But they had a success this year with a project called Cafe Theatre, which united 4 European countries, 20 playwrights, and it was a series of play readings in a space, actors reading their scripts, new challenging material for young people, and I think that was a great success too. What's wonderful about John's work, which is written for a young audience, is that it's doing something different for young people. It is involving the whole body, it's involving with song and dance and great sort of ensemble movement acting. And I think that really inspires and excites young people, because sometimes we don't just want to be talked at by people on stage. We want to be swept up with movement and exciting things, and I know that's the kind of stuff that really inspired me as a young person. Was perhaps I didn't always understand what they were saying, the words, but I understood the pictures they were giving me and the sounds they were making. And so I've always wanted to try and tell stories myself using that language, something that's very emotive and sort of hits the gut almost, and you can, like I said, you might not be able to always make sense of it intellectually, but you can really feel it and understand it. And I think children are very receptive to those ways of working. And I do directing for shared experience for their youth theatre, and that's how I like to work as well, really starting physically and building the character starting from a physical place. Other question to John? The challenges. I think that any director or theatre makers, I think the challenge is to just keep going, to keep true to your sort of core values and beliefs, which is very difficult. And I think that's something you know a lot about, because I was really moved to hear your story about how you'd lost another job because of the work you're doing for Theatre for a Change, and that you made this incredibly brave decision to continue doing the work for Theatre for a Change, because that's where your true beliefs lay. You knew that what you were doing for the young people and the community was the right thing to do. And so that's, I think that's incredibly inspiring to hear your story. And while I haven't experienced anything quite as difficult as that challenge you faced, I suppose my challenge is just to remain true to the things that I believe in, true to working on work that I really believe in, and to giving voice to people that I think aren't heard, and often those people are young people. I have some questions for you about your work. I loved the dance greeting thing that you did at the end of your video there, which I can't sing along, I'm afraid, but I would love to see some more examples of these games and songs and dances that you use in your rehearsal process, because I would love to use them as warm-up exercises when I work in London. So if you can show me a few more of those, and perhaps get your students to join in, so there's a large group of you, that would be wonderful. I was also very interested to hear that you love acting as well, and I wanted to know why you got into acting and theatre in the first place. What was it that inspired you? Like for me, it was seeing on stage a version of Jane Eyre by a company called Shared Experience, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I want to be a director, that's what I want to do. And I'd love to know of an experience that you had that inspired you in that way. And I would also like to know about the different challenges you face when working with much younger children, say the 6 to 10-year-olds, how you approach your work with them. How different is it to working with the 15 and upwards age group? Because you can't work with them all in the same way, so I'm very interested about how you educate and teach them of what the work you're trying to do. How different is that for each age group? And anything else you can offer me, I'd be delighted to hear. Well, I think that's it from me. I hope I've answered your questions clearly. If there's anything you don't understand, please ask me again and I'll be happy to answer you. But as I said, thank you so much for sharing your work with me to date, and I really look forward to receiving your next video. All the best, look forward to speaking to you again. Bye bye.